everything is okay. He of course needs to work a little bit. He's expected to be working with Xavi tomorrow afternoon. Even the deal is still not closed. The agreement is not official. You know, nothing is easy in this club. Everything comes in the middle of the night or later than we were expected. He was expected to be presented tomorrow at noon. It won't be happening tomorrow. It will probably be on Wednesday, but Xavi is quite excited about this signing. Man, he needs this kind of forward. He's got done everything that he needs, and he's a young player that he can teach and make him grow.
Gemma, is it not been announced officially yet because they still need to work the numbers? They still need to get rid of players in this transfer window before they can make it official? What's the kind of details of this?
Well, it's not announced because there is some bureaucratical problems between the Premier and the Spanish League. This doesn't mean that everything is sorted out with the numbers. Okay, Barcelona, it's not that Barcelona are not broke anymore. They don't have debt anymore. No, yeah, they still have these problems. But they will be able to make this agreement with Manchester City. Another story is when he will be registered in La Liga, because that's the big problem. Barcelona are facing this huge problem with the fair play rules and the spending limit. So they need to get rid of some players. One of them will be Demir. We know he's leaving. They are trying to do the same with De Jong, with Luke De Jong. They already did that with Kun Agüero retirement, and they are trying to do something like that with Coutinho, with Umtiti, and also Serginho Dest is in the market. If there is an offer, they will probably try to make a deal with the team because they really need to get rid of massa salarial.
Yeah, of course. They need to get rid of players, Gab. But Serginho Dest, Coutinho, these are players that can't get into a team that are currently sitting 7th in La Liga. I can't imagine there's a big race from clubs around the world to get these players, hence another headache for Barcelona.
Well, look, I mean, I realize different countries have different customs, and I think Joan Laporta's world is kind of a world unto himself, right? The transfer window doesn't actually open until January 1st, right? But that's okay. Yeah, we're going to tell everybody we're going to announce them on Tuesday. Oh, no, it's not Tuesday. Oh, it's Wednesday. He'll be working with Xavi. I'd love to know, like, insurance-wise, whatever. They do have the cash on hand to give to Manchester City, although I'm assuming the 55 million will probably be spread over time because, of course, they got that loan from Goldman Sachs. But as Gemma said correctly, they need to make this work so that they can register him with La Liga. And I've looked at this, and I've done all sorts of back-of-envelope calculations. I love that the club is briefing, oh, that's okay because Demir is leaving. Demir is a kid who's on loan. How much money do you think Demir makes? And remember, for every 4 million that Barcelona save, they get to spend 1 million on Ferran Torres. So if the deal is 55 million, factor in his wages for 6 months, which will probably be around 3 million, factor in 5.5 years of amortization, at a minimum, it's going to cost them 8 million till the end of the season, which means they need to find 32 million. Fine. Some of that is going to be Sergio Aguero's wages. And the rest? Do you think somebody's going to go and say, like, oh, yeah, we didn't want Umtiti and Coutinho 6 months ago, but look, they've been so wonderful, so we'll go and happily go and pay those extortionate, stupid wages that you, Barcelona, gave them when you signed Coutinho. Because I really feel the need to give Coutinho 22 million euros a year. Come on, man. Like, I think the only way this happens is, as you said, Luke de Jong's another one. Oh, yeah, he's on loan from Sevilla. Are Sevilla going to take him back when they're talking about signing Martial? I don't know. And even then, how much money are you going to save on De Jong? What, 2 million between now and the end of the season? It's a big number getting up to 32. I think they have to. The only way this happens is they have to sell one of their saleable assets. Serginho Dest is one of those saleable assets. He's been linked to it with Bayern in the past. Maybe they'll come back in for it. I don't think that they've plugged their hole at right back long term going forward. So that could be one. That is the way. That is the quickest way to get to those 32, 35, 30 million, whatever it is, that I think they're going to need to free up. Again, Agüero takes you part of the way there, but you still have a long way to go.
Meanwhile, Gemma, of course, rumours suggesting that Barcelona are ready to offer Dembele a new contract. This is a player, let's face it, who has been a bit part, to say the least, because of injuries, certainly this season, and you could say during his whole time in Catalonia. Overall, is this a good decision, in your opinion?
Well, it's like, okay, Barcelona are not able to sign a big player now, a big name. They cannot do that. So they have a player who hasn't been able to explode, but he could be an important player. So it's easier to retain him. It's better that than let him go free. That's the point now in Barcelona, because he's been here many seasons. He hasn't been able to have a regularity. It's true that Xavi really likes this kind of player. He always had the good words for him, and there is a kind of understanding with the coach and the player. So it's a better option at this moment when his contract is about to expire to sign a new agreement than to let him go for free. And also there is an important negotiation going up now, and there will be an important pay cut in his salary. So that's why Ferran Torres' operation might be able to happen, as Gab mentioned, with some player leaving. That's a point. Barcelona needs some kind of player with a different kind of talent in the forward line. They don't have that, and of course Dembele in the left side, he's someone important. So in that moment, it's better for them to keep him, to offer a new deal with less money than to let him go free.
Gemma, is that just a picture of a Christmas tree behind you? Could you not afford a real one?
It doesn't fit. The real one is in another part of the house. But
well,
yeah,
that doesn't help us. Look, it's just
and I have Santa as well here.
Good, it's a picture of a tree. Great. That's a Steve Nicol move. Gab, what a waste of money for Dembele.
Well, I mean, I think Gemma's photographed the situation perfectly. You know, he is on a lot of money. I've seen it reported that, well, if he takes a pay cut, that could help too. Again, Dembele earns something like 18 million. His pay cut, his new contract would become effective at the end of the season. So if he takes a pay cut, it's not going to help you straight away. I mean, I'm not 100% familiar with Liga regulations, but I know in every other major league in Europe, you can't just go and take a pay cut in mid-season and then everything's fine. Your new deal becomes effective at the end of the season. So whatever pay cut he takes can help them going forward. If you think that you can keep him fit, you've got a special player, and you know, and certainly he's still. You're not going to get any money back for him if you sell him with 6 months to go. So you might as well try to cut him a new deal. Equally, if you're Dembele, though, what incentive do you have to sign now as opposed to the end of the season when you're going to have exactly the same bargaining power?
It's not only Barcelona looking to balance their books, PSG as well, looking to offload some talent, including Mauro Icardi, Gab, who, let's not forget, they spent, what, 70 million euros on? Who would take Icardi considering what he's done or hasn't done on the pitch and everything that happens off the pitch?
It's not just Icardi. Icardi comes with Wanda attached at the hip, right? So all of a sudden, you've got a walking, talking, daily distraction. But there's a very good player in there. He's not a kid anymore. He earns a ton of money. And I think, you know, you can probably count on less than two hands, actually, the number of clubs that could afford his wages. And on top of that, I'm assuming they wouldn't necessarily want Icardi because they view him as disruptive. They view him as a headache. They view him as a loose cannon, you know, who could end up in Instagram hell from one moment to the next. It's a tough spot he's got him in. I don't see how, you know, you can say you want to offload Icardi, fine, but I think it's very, very difficult to do.
It's going to be tough, isn't it, Frank?
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I don't know what's going on with football clubs right now, you know. They want to be into trouble with hiring players and knowing that the fans won't be happy. You have no consistency whatsoever from those players. So I don't see why you want to take the risk of getting those players where you're pretty sure that it won't improve the level of your team. So I don't understand. I don't know. I will be a chairman, and with all due respect to those players, because of the financial issue as well. I want to hire Icardi or Coutinho or Umtiti. It's another question for Dembele because he's going to be free, and I agree that you have to find a solution. But you have to be clear with yourself, knowing who you can count on and who you couldn't count on. And for sure, the name that I just mentioned are players. They're too expensive to make sure that they're going to give you something and something back. And it's impossible for me. Therefore, I would never hire those players.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.